Okay, so I do have quite a bit of stuff here. Some of them are already kind of out of their package because I already took them out of their cellophane. I've actually filmed half of this video, but for some weird reason, I think I deleted it. And that's the reason why I had to kind of like take back all the things that I already kind of pre-hauled. I'm actually hoping that they're all in here. I'm just not 100% sure if there are some stuff that's missing. But yeah, so let's get on with the first few here. If you guys have actually watched my January lineup, you guys would have seen this kit already. This is from Starlight Paper Studio. Let me just zoom you guys in for a bit. So let me go over, oh, there's more stuff here. Give me a second. Okay, I had it all organized in the beginning, and then all of a sudden I just started to push things to the side. And so this is from Starlight Paper Studio. This is the freebie that I received with my order. So we got 2025 here, which I'm definitely going to be using in one of my planners because technically you can only use this for this year. And then we also have her first quarter freebie that goes in all of her orders. I really like this freebie. I've been into the whole like kind of like Monday through Sunday scripts. So I really like the fact that she has that there. And then I also really love this quote where it says, "My aura is magnetic." So that's really cute. So I really like this freebie. And then she does have a few PR girls, and one of them is Kat. If you guys have watched my previous videos, you guys know that I always talk about Kat. So this is her freebie. You can use, I believe, Kat 10 or Cat 15. Definitely check out her Instagram because she will have all her codes listed. It's femarina.planning on Instagram and on YouTube as well. But this is like her gold freebie, and it's just so gorgeous. Anything that is done by Kat, I think, is so very pretty. And the fact that she collaborated or she PRs for Starlight, it would just be even more amazing. So I really love this freebie of hers. And then Sadie, the owner of Starlight Paper Studio, also gave me these two freebies. It was really generous of her. We had a Canada Post strike, which is our mailing services here in Canada, and my order came a little bit later than usual, and she gave these freebie out to me, which she technically didn't have to because it definitely wasn't her fault, but it's very much appreciated. This is her butterfly waltz deco, and then she also gave me the florals as well. To be honest, I am just waiting for her to go on sale, and I'm definitely going to be grabbing a lot of her kits because I think she is so creative and so very artistic that all of her kits just look so amazing. And I can't wait to actually just go a little bit crazy, and I'm just waiting for a sale for that because I can't afford the US conversion. I just can't. So I only got one kit from her, which I kind of regret because I do kind of want a little bit more of her stuff. This is her snowfall kit. It's in gold foil and it's green. If you guys have seen my other videos, green is just one of those colors that draws me in. It's like, I don't know what draws people. It's like bugs to light there. I am so very in love with this kit, and every single time I see it, I just fall in love with it even more, especially with this full box right here. and that little snowman, that snowman gets to me all the time. So here is the full boxes. And then we have her functional boxes. And then her layering pieces. Then we have the bottom washi. I also grabbed the deco sheet, the alcohol ink swatches, and I believe this came in the bundle, the decorative bundle instead of the weekly bundle. But this is the snowfall floral deco, and it's just so very pretty. I don't know if you guys can see it, but doesn't that look like cotton buds to you? It just works so very well. And then here is the matching foil sampler sheet, which also has the really cute snowman. So that is the kit from Starlight Paper Studio. This is actually going to be one of the kit that I'm going to be using for January. So I had to kind of haul this quickly because I wanted to kind of lay it down on my my inserts. Yeah, so then let's move on to the next shop. Okay, so next up is the stuff that I purchased from Dash of Sun. I do PR for Dash of Sun, and so if you use my code Christine10, you can get 10% off on anything. If she's having new releases, she does usually have like a 15% off, and then you can top it off with my code to get another 10% discount. The only time you can't use my code is during a collective sale, but you can definitely still put my name on the comments or the message so that you can get my freebie. Chelsea actually just updated the freebies for the girls, for her PR girls, and I think they all turned out so very pretty. She asked us to design our own freebies, and I think everyone did such an amazing job. And each freebie, you can definitely see the individuality of each PR girl. Here is the all orders freebie. You just have this hot air balloon type of deco with some clouds, and I actually really like this. This is really pretty, and it goes, I think it'll go well with a lot of kits that's being released out there. So that is the all orders freebie. And then here are the freebies of the PR girls. This one is mine. I went a little bit simple because I wanted to be able to use this for both spring and summer, since we are going to be using this for both. Like, we won't update it until I guess closer to the fall season. There are butterflies here, but I kind of already took it out. There's also a little bit of a like sparkle here on the other side, so that's why it looks a little bit more bare. My freebie is going to be coming in silver because I think that there's a lot of, well, for me personally, I use a lot of silver for my spring and summer decos, spring and summer kits. And I think it also, like, a lot of shops also releases a lot of their kits in that foil color. So I just wanted this for, like, I wanted people to be able to use it all throughout the season. So these floral corners, I don't know, I just really like how they look. It looked really, really pretty. And the date scripts are something that I've been using quite a bit. I've been really kind of sick and tired of how chunky the date covers can get, and how it takes away from how pretty things look in the date cover area. So I thought, why not have it on my freebie since I do use it quite a bit. So here are the other freebies. Most of the girls actually chose gold, and Kat and myself is the only one who actually chose silver, but that's just how it is. I didn't even realize that most of the freebies were gold, which I think is just still just as fantastic, because silver and gold are like the two foil colors that I kind of gravitate towards when I'm using summer and spring kits. So here is Kat's freebie, and I really love how each of these petals, like the floral petals, are individually cut, so you can definitely like use it to look like there's petals blowing in the air, and I think that's so gorgeous. I also really love the butterflies that she uses in this freebie of hers. And then we have Cassie's freebie, which I think is just so very gorgeous. And I love that she always has quotes on her freebies, because I do kind of like to use quotes in my A6. And I think whenever I do need it, I usually gravitate towards Cassie's freebie, because I know there's always going to be a quote there. So that is her freebie. On the quote, I didn't even read it to you guys. It says, "Life is the flowers for which love is the honey." That's so cute. She always has good quotes too. And I really like that she has this dandelion flowers, because I actually really love dandelions, even though they are weeds and they're not good for the other plant life. I think it's like the most whimsical flower out there. Yeah, so that is Cassie's freebie. And then we have Mariah's freebie, also in gold. Hers is kind of geared a little bit more for summer for myself, but I still think that you can still use like these sunbursts in a lot of your spreads, and I really love these sunbursts. I think they're gonna look so gorgeous in a lot of spreads, and I can't wait to use this. Actually, it's really pretty. And then we have Jasmine's freebie, which is also in gold foil, and I love the versatility of this freebie. I'm not really a fan of bows. Bows were really big a couple of years ago when I first started planning, and I've kind of gotten over that. But I think these individual bows that she has, I like that it's all different, and so you can use it in a lot of spread as a decorative, and it would also look really amazing in some journaling spreads as little accents or like little pops of foil color. So this is going to be really interesting for me to use. And you guys know I love to use my freebies, because that's the reason why I use the names of the people, because I want their freebies. And then here is Danny's freebie, and this again is so very gorgeous. This is a kind of like a floral frame, like a corner frame. I'm not saying this right, but it's also very versatile, and I really love how she outdid herself on this. It's really pretty, because you were able to see the transition, or like how the girls were choosing their freebies. And I was a snoop, and I looked at it almost every week until like the finished product happened. And Danny's freebie is actually one of the freebies where it got interesting every single week, because she had something different in like almost like every time I looked at it, it would look different. And then the finished product is just, it's gorgeous. It's really pretty, and I really, really like it. Okay, so enough with the freebies. That was like, what, 8 minutes of me talking about freebies. But anyways, this is the kit that I got from Dash of Sun. It is called Morning Mist. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you guys would have seen me kind of post this as a in my stories. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, definitely, you know, like, follow me if you guys want to. It's kristinefloresta. So you can see I don't really go on my stories as much as I should, but I do post a lot of my spreads on there, especially like the finished product. Yeah, so this is Morning Mist. This is in silver foil, and I love this kit. So this is a transition kit from winter to spring. I always want to say spring to summer, but it's not. And I think she did such an awesome job in kind of like, okay, I live in Canada, and Chelsea, the owner of Dash of Sun, also lives in Canada. And I feel like she portrayed the transition of Canadian land from winter to spring, where the ice is melting and then you see that pops of green come out of the ice. And I think this is such a beautiful kit for that. I don't know if you guys can see this full box right here, because this full box is definitely one of my favorite. It's like this bluish color, but it kind of looks like snow on like flowers. So that's why I love this kit so much, because it really does scream like, hey, spring is coming, but you know, like, there's still ice, and that is basically like Canadian weather for me. So anyways, here are the full boxes, and like I said, it's in silver foil. The quote box here says, "Where frost fades, flowers bloom." And then here are her functional boxes. And then we have the bottom washi. So her bottom washi is actually the extended bottom washi. When I say extended washi, sorry, I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but my mouth is getting really dry. The extended washi is just, it goes through the whole length of an A5 wide planner, or a vertical wide planner. I don't know how you guys would call it, but it just goes all the way from one end to the other. So here is that. I don't know if you guys can see the trace foiling that she has on her flowers, and even the butterflies that she has. But I think the way Chelsea does trace foiling is just so gorgeous. It's, I can't even describe it, because it's trace foiling. Like, to be honest, a lot of shops do trace foiling, but just the way she placed them, it's just really pretty. And I love that she doesn't go overboard, and she puts it in like specific places where it would just kind of draw your eyes to that area and make that certain item kind of pop out even more. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but I just really love Chelsea's trace foiling. And then here is the washi sampler sheet in washi paper. I mostly bought this because I wanted this kind of like grassland area, and also the florals up top here. I don't really know what I'm going to do with the one in the middle, but definitely I have some kind of idea how I'm going to use this one and this one. And then we have the alcohol ink swatches. I don't know if you guys can see how nice and neutral this colorway is. It's very light blue to like a little bit of a darker blue, and then lighter green to like a darker green. But everything is just very muted, and I don't know, like, you guys have to experience kind of like the winter into spring, and how everything just, 1 minute it's like everything is white, everything is dark and dingy, and then next minute it's like bright, and then all the florals or all the flowers is blooming, but there's that space in between where like you just don't understand what's going on with the weather, and I feel like Chelsea's captured that. Okay, and then I also grabbed the overlay for this kit because I think it's so gorgeous. I'm not really a butterfly fan. Obviously, like, I use butterflies a lot because they bring a lot of prettiness to the spread. But if you ask me if I'm a fan of butterflies, I would say no. But this overlay is just really pretty, and it doesn't hurt that it's green. I think this is going to be really gorgeous for a lot of spring spreads. And even if I don't use it in this this spread, I can definitely use it in different kits that I have. And then I also grabbed the foil sampler sheet. I usually just grab the foil functional deco, which has like the washi trims, and then you have date covers, sorry, not date covers, date dots and date scripts, and some decos. These little so these kind of like little foiled stuff, this is kind of like Chelsea's representation of fog, which we get a lot once ice starts to melt, and then the warmer weather's kind of like sets in. We do get a lot of fog, especially in the morning. And I think this is just really pretty. And then finally, I also grabbed 2 sheets from the deco bundle. This is the bouquets and edges, and then this is the deco sheet with the girls in it. I really like the fashion girls that she has in this sheet. I like that one is like covered up, and then the other one is just wearing a shirt and a skirt, which, like I said, totally depicts Canadian weather, because you never know if you need a sweater, a scarf, a jacket, or you can just walk around in shorts and a t-shirt. That's basically how every day is for Canadians when there's a transition from winter to spring. And then here is the bouquets. And then, like I said, here is that trace foiling again that I have been kind of in awe with. And it's not that she does it by fluke or by chance. This is all very intentional, because I've actually looked at her other kit that I have that has trace foiling as well, and it's just as gorgeous. So I don't know, whatever she does it with a really good eye, because like I said, it's so very pretty, and I cannot be as creative as these shop owners are. Okay, so that is from Dash of Sun. And then we're moving on to the next shop. Okay, I'm starting to lose a little bit of steam, guys. So I'm not going to be as poetic with my words. The next few shops. So this is from the Prairie Planner. She is also a Canadian shop. She is more of a clip art shop than the kind of like the deco shop. I know I talked about this before. Clip art where there's more like fashion girls, and it's like a little bit more graphical, and then the other one is more of kind of a little bit more florals, I guess. Anyways, so I bought some icons from her because I really love her weather icons. This is the freebie that I got. Okay, so this is the freebie I got. This is her February freebie. And we just have a bunch of like fairy tale stuff. We have kind of like a butterfly here, a witch's hat. We have this little cute mushroom. It's really cute. So that's that. And then I used Christina's name or code to get her freebie. I am not a hot cocoa weather person. I'm not really a hot, well, it's not that I'm not a hot drink person. It's more of I don't really use these kinds of stickers, but I really like Christina's like posts. Like she does a really good job at PRing for the Prairie planner, and that's why I used her code. I don't know her personally. I just follow her on Instagram, and I think she's really nice. So I just wanted to put that on, like I wanted to use her freebie. So like I said, I did buy a bunch of her weather icons, and I've already used them because I ran out and I really needed them. So I wasn't going to wait until I film this. I think I only grabbed some winter and spring stuff, and the fall and the other would just come when she goes on sale. So here is the rain, and then we have wind, and then we have snow. Thank God I haven't needed to use this. And then sun and cloud. And then we have just the sun. And then we have just the clouds. This one actually I've been using quite a bit. And then I also grabbed the 5-star rating because why not? I think it's going to look really pretty in my A6 where I do my kind of book review and stuff like that. Yeah, so those are like, it's a very small haul, but I really like what I got from the Prairie planner. Okay, so next up I have Sadie's stickers. I bought a bunch of her foiled stuff when she went on sale for her foil items. It was 50% off, so I kind of went a little bit crazy, or as crazy as I could, considering that, you know, it's a US shop and conversion is pretty expensive. But I also grabbed 2 kits because I was already paying for shipping. So I was like, well, I might as well just grab 2 kits since I'm already here. And then I saw that she has a random pull, so I grabbed a random pull as well. And then I saw that she had a the foil sampler package. So then I was like, oh, I might as well grab that too. I'm already paying for shipping, so I might as well grab all of those things. So instead of me kind of saving 50% off on the foils, I kind of put it towards other things, which I'm not really sad about. So I got this fairly quickly, and I was a tad bit disappointed. Okay, I was a whole bit disappointed because there's just some things where wasn't up to my standards. Okay, for context or disclaimer, don't get mad at me at what I have to say. I know there is a lot of Sadie's stickers followers and lovers of Alicia's things, and if you guys have seen some of my videos, and especially some of my lineups or even my hauls or my plan with me's, you guys know that I am a Sadie's fan. Sadie's stickers, it goes hand in hand with Miss and Meow for myself, where they could do no wrong. So I am very much a fan of Alicia, and I really, really love her things. However, that being said, I was a tad bit disappointed on the kits that I received. Okay, let me go on with my purchase first, and then as I talk, then I will let you guys know what I mean. So let me go through the foils first. No, actually, let me go through the sampler. The grab bag and the random pull. So like I said, I got one grab bag and one sampler, one random pull. Oh my god, I'm not making sense anymore. Like I said, I'm losing steam. So this is the random pull from Sadie Stickers. This is a very, very old kit of hers. And I know it's a very old kit of hers because one, the layout is her very, very old layout. And two, I don't remember this kit. So like I said, I am quite a big fan of Sadie Stickers. So I do kind of remember most of her kits, especially if it's a Halloween kit, because I am a big Halloween person. So if Sadie's or any of my favorite shops comes out with a Halloween kit, I would usually gravitate towards it. So this is the Hocus Pocus kit. This is in her gold foil. This is the full boxes, and it says it's just a bunch of Hocus Pocus. And then we have the functional boxes. And then we have the headers, and then the layering pieces here, and the bottom washi and date covers. So if I was actually going to say something, this was probably like 2 to 3 years ago. So definitely not going to be in her shop anymore. And I'm not sure if I am going to be using this kit because I don't think this layout or this format of her kit works for how I what do you call this? How I plan anymore. So it's a touch and go. I'll see what I have for my lineup. Sometimes maybe it will draw me in, but we'll see. It was inexpensive, so it's not that bad. And then here is the grab bag. I did get the foil grab bag, so I'm actually surprised that there's some sticker sheets in here. This is her B collection, and guys, this is one of my favorite release of hers last year. This is such a pretty kit, and I really, really love it. The quote here says, the flower doesn't dream of the bee, it blossoms and the bee comes. So this, like I said, this was actually one of my favorite release of hers last year. If not last year, the year before that. But I really, really love this kit, and I am a bee fan kit. Like, I like kits that has bees in them, especially if they're done right. But unfortunately, it's only the full boxes because the rest of these sticker sheets are from different kits. Yeah, it's from different kits. So we have that sheet, and then we have the functionals from, I'm assuming, April 2023, like her quarter releases. And then this is the bottom washi for the sweater kit. And then we also have the November 2022 monthly, which I'm most likely not going to be using any of these. So I don't really know what I'm going to be doing with them. If anybody wants them, let me know, because I can definitely send them your way. Just don't ask me for me to send it someplace where I have to pay like crazy expensive shipping. Yeah, so that came from the grab bag. And then here are the foiled stuff that I received. Here are some moon dividers, and this is in her matte paper. Sorry, her premium matte paper. And then we have the moon phases in gold foil. And most of these are actually in her glossy sheets rather than the matte that she now has, like the transparent matte, which, like I said, I don't really use them anymore, so I'm not 100% sure if I'm gonna be using these. So again, the moon phases, and then we have postage lines, which I think I would have used this one if it was foiled, but it's not foiled. So, and then we have swinging fairies. It says winging fairies, but I think it's supposed to say swinging fairies. Oh, that one is in gold foil as well. And then here we have a leaf blowing silhouette in silver foil, which actually I can probably, oh, this one is in her transparent matte, so I'm probably gonna be able to use this one. So this one is in silver. Let me put that on the other side. And then we have pumpkin borders, also in silver. And I got 2 of that, which is also in her transparent matte, so that can definitely work. Is it just me, or it looks like this half is longer than this half? I don't know. I think I'm going crazy. So there's 2 of that. And then we have the pumpkin vine divider, which is in rose gold, which I'm definitely going to be using this because I am a rose gold fan during fall. And then we have the Halloween windows in glossy sheets in silver as well. And then we have the spider geometric in rose gold. And then we have crates in rose gold as well. And then we have teeny tiny script monthlies in gold. And this is in her transparent matte. So I'm sorry, most of her, I made a mistake. Most of her smaller sheets are actually in transparent matte, not in her glossy paper. Okay, and then we have kind of like a fuller sheet. This is in silver, and it's spring flowers samplers, which I really like. This is in silver. I'm definitely gonna be able to use this. And I guess this is a collaboration between Sadie Stickers and Gathered Plans, which is Rachel from Gathered Plans. And then we have stamp labels and frames, which I'm most likely not going to be using. This was in the Advent 2022. And then the lace trim 3rd boxes. So this is kind of like those, I like to say quarter boxes. And it's in hollow foil, which I don't know if I'm going to be using it or not. Let's see how it is. And then I got 2 kind of like those fall like sampler sheets. This was in her Advent of 2022 as well, and it's in gold foil. I don't know if you guys can see those little tiny leaves. And we have the maple leaf washi in rose gold, which is also kind of pretty because, you know, I'm Canadian. Of course we love maple leaves. Okay, so that is the grab bag, the foiled grab bag, which is not bad. I actually really like the things that I got. There's just a few that I'm really not a fan of, but that's what you get when you choose a grab bag. You get a mixture of things that you like and don't like. So let's move on with the actual foiled stuff that I bought from her shop when she had that 50% off of her foils. Okay, so I did buy, like I said, a bunch of stuff from her foiled collections. And I've mentioned quite a bit that I've kind of stopped using the date covers on the kits of shops. So therefore, I kind of needed to have date scripts. So I went and bought a bunch of date scripts that I really, really liked. So we have this simple kind of like typewritten font, and I bought it in all foil colors. And yes, I've already used a bunch of it already. And then I also, oh, this is the typewriter font. So that one, I guess, is just a simple font. And this is the abbreviated version, which is Monday through Sunday. And you actually get quite a bit. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you get 5 and then 5. So you get 10. So that's like 10 weeks. And I got it in all foil colors. And I also grabbed the more flourished ones. So I guess the cursive writing, because, you know, not all kits will have plain fonts on them. So if I wanted something a little bit more classy looking, quote and unquote, then I at least have these as well. And to be honest, they do look small, but I really, really like the small version. They still pop out, actually. It's not like you don't see them. They're still there. And then I have kind of like this typewriter holidays, and I kept it simple. I chose black. I just wanted to be able to just put it in my spreads. So that's the reason why I grabbed it in black, because I don't know when I'm gonna use it. I've had the misfortune of buying different foil colors, and then I never use half of them. So then most of the time I have like 5 Independence Day or like 5 Labor Day. So I just chose black. And then I really, really love this kind of geometric flowers that she has. Not geometric. They're more like freestyle, like free-flowing florals. So I like that she has it in different sizes as well, because I can use them either in my memory planning or my catch-all or my all-around planners. So I got it in all different foil colors. And then I also grabbed this floral butterfly corners, which, to be honest, I thought it was going to be a little bit bigger. But I guess they'll work. Here's the thing about Sadie's stuff. Sometimes when you look at it, you're like, this is just way too small. But then when you place it on like the spread, you're like, holy cow, it should have been that small, because now it just looks so much better. If it was a little bit bigger, it would look really weird. So sometimes you just gotta trust the process. So here is all foil colors. And then I also grabbed a bunch of her sampler decos. Sorry, her foil sampler sheets, which is where kind of my my disappointment started. I haven't bought from Sadie's in quite some time. When I do buy from her, it's usually like her warehouse sale, or like her warehouse sale, like when she has a sale, basically, because like I said, it's quite expensive. So most of the time I just buy from other shops, and compared to other shops, and I hate comparing things. I'm one of those people who is like, you do your own thing and you flourish in your own success. So I hate the fact that I'm comparing it, but it's just when I saw it, I got really disappointed that the sheet is so much smaller than other shops' sheets. So I was a little bit taken aback that her foiled sheets were this small, and they're not that cheap. I know she has a lot of things in here, and they're very, very beautiful. But I would have liked at least something a little bit bigger. The hands could have been a tad bit bigger. These compositions could have been a tad bit bigger as well. But like I said, it is what it is. I'm probably speaking from a minority, so it depends on what people likes, right? So here I got the butterfly sheet because I did not get the butterfly kit. I don't know why I got the butterfly sheet, but I think I got it in all foil color. Yes, I did get it in all foil color because it's very versatile. You can use it in different spreads. I got it in gold, rose gold, and in her silver. And yeah, like I said, it could work. I can play around with it and see how I can place it and make it look pretty. And it would probably look pretty because it's Sadie stickers. I also grabbed the all foil colors for her beautiful sampler sheet because I really, really like that free-flowing blossoms that she has. And I think it's gonna look pretty in a lot of spreads as well. And I got it in all 3 foil colors. I grabbed the pollinator and the poet sampler sheet in rose gold and gold because those are the 2 kits that I bought. And I thought, I was like, oh well, I might as well just buy the sampler sheet as well because it'll look perfect with the kit. So that's the reason why I got it. So that is the foil stuff that I got. And then moving on to her kits, and I am, like I said, I'm losing steam. Okay, so after opening the foiled stuff, I looked at the kit, and I was already kind of disappointed with the size of the sticker sheets, but I was a little bit more disappointed with the kits itself. I don't know how nice I could say it. Like, let me go with the negative first, and then we'll go with what I liked about the kit. So I will talk about both kits in general, and then I will show you guys each kit individually. So I have been around the planning community for quite some time. I haven't been out there promoting other shops as much as other people do, but I've always been kind of like, you know, like a fan of Sadie stickers. Miss and Meow, those 2 are definitely my ride or die shops. Those are the 2 shops that when I need a little pick-me-up, those are the 2 that I go to, and I gravitate towards them because they're my comfort shops. So when I buy from Sadie stickers, I never hesitate. It's just whatever draws my eye, that's what I'm going to get. And these 2 were the ones that I was like really into because I do really like koi fish, to the point where I want a koi fish tattoo. And like I said, I also gravitate towards bee kits. And Sadie Stickers has always done amazing bee kits. So that being said, like on camera, they look really, really amazing, really, really pretty. When she was doing her kind of like her YouTube video, like everything just popped, and like the colors is just magnificent, and everything looks so good. But in person, I was a little bit disappointed because they're a little bit duller, and the design is not as it's not as sharp. This I feel is a little bit more sharper than this one, and I think it's more of a design perspective rather than she did it on purpose, because there's a lot of little intricate pieces in this kit. If you guys see that there's like a valley of flowers here, and so is here and here. Like this kit just jumps at you when you look at it, but in person it's just very muted. It's not as out there, which they totally tell you. Like you always have that disclaimer where the color is not going to be the same as it is in camera. The kit is not going to look 100% as it is on camera, and I totally get that. I totally get that. It's just what kind of disappointed me, or like kind of threw me off, was that even though Shops has that disclaimer, Sadie Stickers was always on point. Yeah, it would be like a shade or two lighter, or like a shade or two darker, but it was never a big significant change. So when I saw it, I was just a little bit, oh, that's not exactly how I thought it was going to be. But like I said, it on camera, it's amazing to look at. It looks really, really pretty, and it looks really, really gorgeous. But I just was a little bit shocked. And then if you guys kind of see, the trace foiling on the florals is a tad bit off. And like I said, all shops, they always have that disclaimer where something is always going to be a little bit off. Something's just the nature of things. But there are certain shops where perfection is what you expect. And Sadie Stickers was definitely that shop where the perfection was very much what kind of drew me to her shop. So here is the pollinator kit. It's in gold foil. In the quote here, it says, "The hum of bees is the voice of the garden," which that quote is really, really pretty. So that is the full boxes. Here are the functionals, and then we have the layering pieces. There was also one here where the graphics was a little bit off. It's very grainy, and I was just not a fan. Like I said, on camera, it looks amazing. I don't know what it is. I feel like my eyesight is not as good as it used to be. And I feel like it's maybe my issues rather than the shop's issues. So take it with a grain of salt. Here is the bottom washi and the date covers. I actually really love this narrow washi strip because it's very cute. And here is the trace foiling on the bottom washi. And then I also got the layering pieces, sorry, not layering pieces, the decos in her bundle, like the decorative bundle. And then I grabbed the floral sheets in her washi paper because I really like how the florals look in washi paper. I think it looks so much better. Yeah, so I grabbed that, and then I also grabbed the alcohol ink swatches. Sorry guys, I'm a little bit out of it now because I don't like talking about negative things. I'm just really shocked, and I was a little bit disappointed. And yeah, and here's the poet. When I saw this kit, this literally, I was really in awe at this kit. But maybe it is a designer's perspective because the trace foiling on the florals is a tad bit off, but everything else is on point. So Kat from Famarina Planning, because when I opened it, I messaged Kat right away, and she's like, oh, maybe it's a designer's perspective. And I was like, okay, maybe it is a designer's perspective where the foiling is a little bit off. It just makes it look a little bit wishy-washy when you're looking at it, and it looks a little bit distorted. That's my issue. And then here is the functional boxes and the layering pieces. This florals right here, sorry, these torn paper here looks really pretty. I love that. And then we have the bottom washi with this huge koi fish, which is really pretty. And then we have the deco sheets. And I picked the deco sheet that actually was an add-on for the kit because I think the design, or like what comes in it, looks so good. It looks really pretty. And I love the colors that she uses here. And then we have the oh my gosh, the floral decos in her washi paper, and the alcohol ink swatches also in washi paper. So those are the things that I bought from Sadie's. I hope you guys don't get mad at me of all the things that I said. I'm definitely still a fan of Alicia's. There's just a little bit more hesitation when I buy stuff, but I think I will get over that, especially since there's just so many beautiful things that she releases. So that is everything that I got from Alicia, and then we're moving on to, oh, actually, I forgot to show you guys the freebie that I got. I used Coco's name, Coco Luxe Design, because I wanted the date scripts, and this is in her gold foil. Okay, last but not least is the Pretty Pink Co. If you guys have watched more than one video, you guys know that the Pretty Pink Co. is definitely one of my favorite shops as well. She is more of a newer shop. I think she opened like 4 or 5 years ago, and she has grown as a shop, and just watching her grow and make these amazing kits has always been so fun. And every time she releases something, it's just as gorgeous as the last one. So I really love buying from her, and it doesn't hurt that she's a Canadian shop. So obviously shipping is not going to be as horrendously expensive, and it does take a while for me to get it. Let's be honest. If you guys have bought from the Pretty Pink Co. before, her shipping does kind of take a little bit longer than most shops, but I think she's getting a little bit better. So I do have 3 kits here, plus I have 2 of her mystery kit for January and February. I'm going to be doing that last because I don't want people to be spoiled, especially if you haven't received your January or February mystery yet. So I got this first one here during her, actually I don't know when she did this release. This is one of those videos where I already kind of filmed it, so I don't really know what came in this purchase, but I know that this kit itself was from that purchase. So this is called Spring Riverside. I totally remember when she released this because there was 2 other kits that she released on the same time as this kit. And every time she releases a new kit, she does a sneak peek of a mood board. And I was more enthralled with those 2 kits than I was on this kit. But then when she showed the whole entire kit, I was more drawn to this one than the other 2. So that's the reason why I only bought this kit, because I really like this kit. When she sneaked it, she just sneaked the ducks, and I was like, I'm not really into ducks. But then as a whole, it just looks so pretty. And this is in her silver foil. It's definitely going to be a kit that I'm going to be using in during springtime. If I don't find a kit for like a transition from spring to summer, this is definitely going to be the kit that I'm going to be using for that transition, because it's just very gorgeous. And when I think of Lakeside, I think of more of summertime than I do of springtime. So that's why I think this is going to be a really good transition kit. And then here on the quote box, it says, adapt the pace of nature. Her secret is patience. Sorry, I could barely see that. So here are the full boxes. And then we have the functional boxes. The layering pieces. Her layout or her format for her kits are always the same. Actually, all shops are like that. And then here are the bottom washi and date covers, and the floral decos. Then I grabbed the alcohol ink swatches. This is in her transparent matte. And then I also grabbed the sidebar, which is in her washi paper. And I really like this because I don't know if you guys can see it, but I like the little, like the scripts that she has in the background for this. Like, I have no clue what it does with, what it has something to do with the lakeside or whichever, but I still think it's really pretty. And then here is the floral washi. I grabbed the one that goes in the bundle sheet because I just like how it looks. It's so much more organic than the one that comes in the kit itself. So that's why I grabbed that as well. And then finally I have the foil sampler sheet, which is really pretty as well. So this is in silver, as you guys can see, so it will match the kit. So that is the Spring Riverside. And then these 2 kits actually came, I purchased this separate from the Spring Riverside because there's just a bunch of spring kits that I need, and most of the time I also use spring kits for my summer because I'm not a fan of summer. And not a fan of heat and stuff like that. So yeah. So here are the freebies for this order. We have the all order freebie, which I'm so glad that she changed up because I have like a million of the spring freebies that she had before. And I really love that she included like little tiny flowers and little accents. And then here is another all order freebie, which is also a nice new freebie, and this one is in silver foil. I like that she has two different foils actually that she gives out. This is also another freebie, which I'm really glad I got because it matches the kit that I bought. And finally, this is the $50 freebie, so I guess I bought more than $50. And then on the quote here it says, "In a world full of roses, be a daisy." And look, I got the daisy kit. This daisy kit is just so pretty. Oh wait, I didn't just buy $50. I bought $100 worth of stuff. So this is the $100 freebie, which is a rippable paper. It's in washi paper. So anytime it's washi paper, it's definitely rippable. Yeah, I'm gonna call it rippable now. Jazzy from Jazzy Plans, I believe. She was like, you can just call it rippable instead of terrible, because when we say terrible, people think that we're saying it's terrible rather than it's tearable. But yeah. So this is like a green color, and yeah. I don't know what else to say because I'm definitely gonna use it. It looks really pretty. Here is the kit that I got. Well, one of the kit that I got. This is the Daisy Days, and it's so pretty. To be honest though, I really wish she didn't put the pretty pink in the bag here. I mean, it makes sense. It's from the Pretty Pinko. It's just I would have liked it to be plain, or if anything, like maybe a daisy on it would have looked cuter. And then here on the quote box it says, daisies are like little secrets of the earth, tiny whispers of joy scattered across the grass. So cute. Whenever I think of daisies, I think of that movie with Meg Ryan and You've Got Mail. I don't know if you guys even know about it, but she's like, daisies are the most beautiful flowers because they look happy or something like that. So whenever I see daisies, that's all I think about. Here are the full boxes. I really love this. I love this box right here. And yeah. And then the functional boxes. Look at all that green and yellow. So pretty. And then we have the layering pieces. This is kind of cut weirdly. Like, I'm not sure what's going on here, but it was cut weirdly. And then we have the bottom washi. So pretty. I like that bottom washi. And then I grabbed the deco. I think this is the deco from the decorative bundle because I wanted the girl on it. And then we have the floral decos, which has a bunch of daisies. The alcohol ink swatches. This is in her washi paper. I don't know what this is. There's a little scratch. I don't know if that's from me or it came like that. Maybe from me. And then oh, I keep forgetting. Okay, so I also got the freebie, the Power Hour freebie. So I guess, sorry, I'm doing this all wrong, guys. But when you purchase during her sale, like a collective sale, and you buy it within like the first 3 hours of the sale, then you get like the Power Hour freebie. And guys, look at this Power Hour freebie. This is in gold foil, and I would have loved to have had this in light gold, but it's still pretty nevertheless. And I'm so glad I got it in gold foil because I love gold foil. I'm a gold foil fan, and I think I'm gonna be able to use this in a lot more spreads than I would if I got it in silver or rose gold. My only thing that I was kind of bummed out about is, I don't know if you guys can see the flowers. The foiling didn't go all the way through, which kind of bums me out, but like I said, it's a freebie. It's still quite pretty. The quote says, "There are always flowers for those who want to see them." So pretty. Okay, so enough with the Power Hour freebie. That one was the Daisy Days kit, and then I also grabbed another kit. It's called the Wildflower Fields. Hold on, let me just grab it. So here is the Wildflower Fields, and this is so gorgeous. I really love all the colors that she used here. Do you guys see that kind of like sun peeking through the trees? It's so pretty. I am a sucker for whimsical kits. Like, kits like these makes me wish that I live in a fairy tale land, and when I go to the field, it's bug free, and I could just sit there and not be afraid that there's probably like a spider near me, or the heat is so intense that I'm probably like going to burn. So yeah, but these full boxes are just gorgeous. Here in the quote box it says, "Some years are for growing, but this one is for blooming." It's so pretty. Okay, so enough with that. Here are the functional boxes, and like I said, the cut of this sheet just so weird. It doesn't really affect the stickers. I just noticed it. Then here are the layering pieces. Even the decos at the bottom is so pretty. Like, I have a windowsill like that in our shed in the backyard, and it does not look like that. It never looks like that. I tried to make it look like that, but everything just dies. And here is the bottom washi with the date covers and some headers. I don't usually gravitate to kits this bright, but I don't know, there's just something about this kit that just made me want to like buy it. And then here is the Wildflower Field deco, which I believe was from her deco sheets. Sorry, yeah, the deco bundle, because I really like the girls on air. Most of the time if I buy a deco sheet, it's because of the fashion girls, or it just looks amazing. And then here is the floral washi bottom washi, the floral washi trim in washi paper. And like I said, it's really pretty. And I always really like the ones where everything just looks a little bit more organic and kiss cut. So that's why I tend to kind of gravitate towards them. Here is the alcohol ink swatches in washi paper as well. And then I grabbed the Wild Fields foil sampler sheet, which is kind of simple, but I still kind of like it. This one just kind of throws me off though. It's kind of weird. Like, I'm not a picnic person, so I don't really get it. And then finally, I also grabbed a bunch of like deco sheets from her Spring Breeze collection. This is probably something I'm going to be using on my catch-all. So I just grabbed the page 5 in washi paper, and then I got the rippable paper in washi paper as well. And then I grabbed the deco sheet in washi paper as well, because why not? Like, look how pretty this is. This is in purple and yellow, and it's just gorgeous. I'm probably going to be using this for the month of month of April. So I'm probably going to be posting that before I post this haul, to be honest. And then finally, I have the foil sheets, where I'm not sure if I'm going to use it with this. But I at least have it, and I think I can use it in a lot of like my spring kits. Except for this plain window. It's a weird plain window. Yeah, anyways, that is everything that I got from the Pretty Pink Co. The next bit of this video is going to be the mystery kit for the month of January and February of the Pretty Pink Co. Okay, so this is your warning that I'm going to be showing January 2025 and February 2025 mystery kit from the Pretty Pink Co. I no longer have the January envelope because I threw that out the minute I hauled this, but that haul video has disappeared into the Ethernet. So yeah, I'm going to show you the January first, and then obviously I'm going to move on to February. Okay, so let's get on with the January mystery kit first. And when I first saw this, I was kind of floored until I saw the February kit. I really like this kit, and I'm not really one to be like fully drawn to like this kind of like kits, but anyways, here is the January mystery. Every single time she releases her mystery kits, I think the Pretty Pink Co has been knocking it out of the park every single time. And these first two, the one in January and February, I think it's gotten better and better. So here is the first one. This is in rose gold. Here on the quote box it says, whenever you are planted, bloom with grace. There you go. And then we have the functional boxes, and I really love the colorway that she chooses here. The functional boxes, sorry, the layering pieces, not the functional boxes. And then we have the bottom washi. Sorry, this is not in rose gold. This is in gold foil. I'm just losing it now. And then we have the florals. And look how pretty this deco sheet is. It's so cute. And then we have the journaling deco page 1. And then the page 2. The page 2 of her journaling decos is just, it's like chef's kiss all the time. Then we have the alcohol ink swatches. And then here she kind of changed up her format. So this used to be a little bit bigger. This is the foil sampler sheet, which I think it's not, like, even though it's smaller, she still gives you quite a bit in this page. So I really like that she has kind of made it smaller, but at the same time, she does give you the rippable page of washi paper, which I think is really generous of her, because a lot of people I've noticed has been using this as well. So it's such a great kind of like addition to the mystery bundle, and I hope she does it for the rest of her mystery kits. And then as always, you have the bonus of the sidebar, which is also in her washi paper. Yeah, so that is her January kit. And if that made you really love the Pretty Pink Co, You would definitely love the February kit. And I'm not even an evening type of person, planner. Like, I'm not drawn to darker kits, but this one is just, she totally outdid herself. So, oh, it's upside down. Here is the February mystery kit. Like, look how pretty this is. This is so gorgeous. This was either going to make it or break it. When I saw the sneak that she did of this girl, I was like, okay, that girl looks really, really pretty. But it really is depending on how everything will look. And to see if it's really gonna be pretty. She's totally outdid herself on this this kit. Here on the quote box it says, "The night is more alive and more richly colored than the day." There is nothing on this full box that I can see that I could be negative about. Like, I'm really into like floating lanterns, so I really, really love this full box. Even the florals that she used, which, as you guys noticed, there's no roses in it. I'm so glad that she didn't go with the roses, because I think these flowers just made the kit even more prettier. So, and oh, sorry, I don't know if I mentioned it. This is in her rose gold, and for sure, I'm sure this is rose gold. Then here is the functional boxes. And then we have the layering pieces, which I really like this kind of like lights that she has going on. And then look at the bottom washi, guys. Like, look at the prettiness of that floral. But this narrow washi is like, this took my heart. I'm just like, I really like, you know, like whimsical celestial things. And I like the fact that she did like little stars, little dots, and little sparkles. It's just so pretty. Here is the florals, which is just as gorgeous. Like, this kit is just stunning. And then here is the deco sheet, which is just so beautiful as well. And I really, really love it. Like, obviously I'm not really a fan of that one, but like, it still goes. It's just so pretty. And then here is the journaling deco page 1. Look at that box right there. And then look at the page 2. I'm telling you guys, the Pretty Pink Coat journaling deco page 2 is always the magical one. Like, the corner florals, like, and then that girl, like, look how pretty she is. I was saying on my IG stories when I showed this, I was like, this for some weird reason reminds me of the Princess and the Frog, especially that one full box, this full box right here. That just reminds me of the Princess and the Frog. And then here we have the alcohol ink swatches, and if you guys can see this kind of like galaxy looking pattern on her alcohol ink swatches, if you guys thought that is pretty, wait until you guys see the rippable page. Like, galaxy, like, hello, look how pretty this is. Like, Milky Way, galaxy, I don't know what you guys want to call it, just beautiness. And then we have the sidebar piece, which is also very, very gorgeous. And then finally, the foil sampler. Ugh. This foil sampler is like the it thing of all foil samplers. I'm trying to find the word that I can't even say it. It's just really pretty. I really love it. I would have wished she put a little bit more of the string lights, but look at those clouds and the stars, and it's really pretty. And I like that she kind of gives you like the lake version and then the star version of the kit, so that you can kind of like use it in all aspects. So that's really pretty. Yeah, so that is the February mystery kit and the January mystery kit. Like I said, she's been knocking it out of the park. If you guys want her mystery kits, definitely check out her site. She usually does a sneak of what's coming up. The one for March looks just as gorgeous as these two. So I would say run, not walk there. But yeah, if you guys like this video, please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and thank you so much. Bye.